Hey, y'all call me Miss Sip. Welcome to Unicorn Straight No Chaser podcast, where we always give you an education, a laugh, and a heavy pour, as I was partaking in. As usual, I'm Siren by night, and to my right,
Tokyo T.
And to my left,
Toni below me.
Your hair looks so pretty today.
Yours. Thank you.
So we got a lot of things to talk about tonight. Tokyo is not finishing, but doing the second part of her BDSM series. We got something to get into in the Mayhem and Media segment. Simone, Biles, the bonnet debate. We might get into T.I. and Toni. At this point, I just want them to go to jail. I don't know. And then we're going to review episode 1 of Loki, which I really, really enjoyed, but we'll get into that later. This month is Pride Month. Let's show our happy Pride pic. So we definitely want to, Otis. I was about to call you Jessica. Yes, happy Pride Month 2021. So, Jessica, our fourth unicorn, is not here today. We have a replacement unicorn. So if you hear me yelling at Otis, like Otis from the Temptations,
you might come to see me.
Just bear, Otis. That's right. Just bear with me, okay?
Wait for Otis.
We'll buy Otis some alcoholic beverages later. But yes, it's Pride Month. June is Pride Month. So definitely we want to celebrate all our LGBTQIA family. I myself am part of that community, so I definitely wanted to mention it. And I wanted to get into a little bit of mental health when it comes to being a part of that community. So I started doing like research, and I decided I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go that route because, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody understands, that there are gay people in this world. There are trans people in this world. It's 2021. I don't feel like we need to get into explanations and back and forth as far as whether people think that people were born gay or created by some traumatic event. I just feel like we have come too far to even get into such a basic topic as far as that's concerned. But I want to talk about the fact that when you are a part of that community, you are 50% more likely to suffer from depression and anxiety and to deal with issues as far as, being suicidal and things of that nature, even more so when you are part of the African American community, because it's really, really taboo, especially when you want to talk about, Black men, and then God forbid if you grew up in the church. That's a whole nother layer about the religion and us being Black people, and it's saying, in the Bible that it is a sin. So all of those things play a part into people being depressed. There are so many people walking around in this world not living their true lives, not being their true authentic selves. And like I said, later on we're going to talk about Pose, and that's a really good show that gives us a peek into, the lives of people that are trans and gay men, and the things that they had to deal with and encounter growing up in this community and being Black. I'm glad I really didn't have to go through that. I kind of was able to bypass that because I'm pansexual. And Otis, can you put that description up? because I know a lot of people don't know what that is. So when I was coming up, like my first experiences were with girls, not boys, but I always had an issue because I did not understand my feelings as far as it pertains to women, right? Like normally a man is a man, right? A straight man. So if you got a big ass and you got titties and stuff, you look mildly decent, they're attracted to you, they want to have sex with you. I didn't have an attraction like that to women. I was attracted to certain women, but it felt like there was no rhyme or reason to it. It was just like if I did, I really, really did, and then otherwise I didn't pay you any women any mind. So a lot of people that are close to me men, namely, I didn't feel comfortable talking to other women about it. But if you're like really my male friend and we're really close and you already know this about me, I didn't feel comfortable with that bisexual label. It didn't sit right with me. It was always something weird about it. And so I didn't claim it. And I thought, it must just be a phase I'm going through. I'm not really gay. I'm not in that community. Every time I would try to like go to a club or an event or something, I would just say, never mind. Like, yeah, I would be afraid to go. Mm-hmm. Like I would get afraid to go. And I didn't have any other friends that were out until I was grown. Okay. So I didn't have any friends in the community. I didn't have a gay bestie or anything like none of that stuff. I didn't know any lesbian women that were out or anything like that. So I just kept it to myself. And I felt like I didn't have a right to say I was part of the community. It was like I didn't think because I wasn't in it. I wasn't an active lesbian. I wasn't an active lesbian. I did not partake of the vagina. So I felt like I couldn't say that. You know what I mean?
Were you sure that that's what you were into, or you just really wasn't sure? It was just like
it wasn't making sense to me because I was just like, why is it only certain women that I like? Okay. Like it's only certain women that I like. So I was just like, this girl is very pretty. I should be attracted to her. Right. It's
like, not like a guy. Guys just I like it. The fat ass will bring them to the door. But I get you. Like, all right, so pan would be a better term for you because it's not really a.
Yeah. I just like who I like.
Yeah.
That's it. Even like handsome men, I'm just like people that are like you should be attracted to that person. I'm like, it's not doing it for me. Yeah, it's just weird. When I like it's very weird to me. It's odd, right? Mm-hmm. So
I understand. No, you flip too. You really like somebody, but they could do something, and you be like, I don't know.
Well, that's just me being Aquarius. That's completely different. If you get on my fuck you side, then okay. But and then I also said I don't like studs. Mm-hmm. I said that in my head. I was like, that doesn't make sense to me, right?
Okay.
I get you. But then like I met a couple of girls that were like soft studs, and I was like, well, God. I think I text y'all about one too. I was like, I'm in the car with this girl, and I turned into an idiot.
With girls.
I turned into an idiot. I was like, I don't want this to sound weird. But you're like really, really pretty. No, she was smiling.
Now I kind of get where you come from sometimes. Like studs don't make sense to me, but I feel like I can feel the masculinity in some of them. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them don't seem. I don't know. It's weird. Like I've seen some stuff, they be like, you give me boy vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't automatically be like, oh, you're a girl and that's it. Like they give you a vibe sometimes. So maybe you feel like kind of masculinity, something soft.
No, I think they're very like. Oh. If I see a soft stud,
you think they're pretty.
Not all of them. What I'm saying to you is that where I had this forms fixated things in my mind of how I looked at people, as I got older, I started to notice like you are not attracted to this is a man and this is a woman. You are attracted to whatever it is about this person. You get what I'm saying?
Like where they vibe, where they aura.
Right. It's like some kind of aura or their intelligence or their sense of humor is not based on whether they're a man or a woman. Okay. You know what I mean? I used to think Toni was cute. Not like that, Toni.
I'm fond of that motherfucking frog all time.
You know what I mean? Like before we was like friends like that or whatever. You know, but now that we're friends, I don't look at you like that. But
it's more of a, like a fancy type.
Right. So because it's her locks and her gap.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it.
I think it's very attractive.
I think it fits.
I think it's very attractive.
Some people's gap are not as pretty as yours.
I love it.
I will say some people have some situations going on.
People hate
but your gap fits you. Like it looks nice on you.
It's like the worst thing to some people.
Would change to make me more comfortable. Because now I do have friends that are a part of the community. Like I have, lesbian friends and I have pansexual friends and I have friends that I've gone on a journey with that we kind of around at the same time discovered like, hey, I'm pan, we both pan. Like, you know what I mean? It's education. Other people are more open to discussing it. And so then you can listen to their experiences and you can see little pieces of you in them. And that made me more comfortable. And honestly, age too. As you get older, you get more comfortable with saying fuck you and your feelings. I'm going to be who I want to be, and it is what it is.
I think the more time goes on, the more natural it becomes to some people. You know what I mean? Everybody's always talk about, forcing it. Nobody's forcing it. It's just that the more time goes on, the more people speak out, the more people identify what they are and everything, the more comfortable other people who are so afraid to say something, come forth and say something. So it's not being forced. Y'all just need to open up your fucking eyes. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing like we're talking about mental health, right? People would ask me, why do I talk about it so openly? It's because it makes other people more comfortable to discuss it as well. And you don't feel like you're the only one. So a large chunk of my life, I grew up thinking, I was weird, but beyond the normal weirdness of that I thought I was weird because of my feelings towards women and stuff like that. And now I don't feel like that anymore. But I'm not going to lie. I do still feel like there's a portion of that I don't get to claim it. I don't get to be like, yeah, I'm part of the community and stuff. I still hear those feelings.
Maybe because you don't feel like you've been oppressed the same way that they have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the journey was
right. Yeah.
Like different minorities feel oppression in different ways. Various ways, whether you Black, gay, Asian, blah blah blah.
You didn't go through their struggle.
Right.
And I
so maybe
like you do all this stuff.
Right.
People accept you and all that. So it's kind of, I feel you. I get you.
Right. Like I don't have to do this big thing coming out to my grandma this. I don't have to come out to my grandma. I don't talk to my mom. My father is dead. So I don't have to come out to them or have that conversation with them. And anybody else, I don't believe.
It's understandable.
I don't give a fuck.
I personally, if I feel like if I've been through something, like similar and everything, I wouldn't, but it's not as bad. I get what you're saying. Like you don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I do this, knowing that other people been through worse.
Yeah. Take the people that are like in a real close-knit family, a religious family and everything. I've heard some of the horrible stories of, gay Black people, that have to come out to their families and they get kicked out on the street and, they have to work the piers or work the corners or whatever, because the only thing they can do is sex work. That's more so when it comes to the trans people. I hear all those stories and I just think how horrible it is that you have to pay such a price to just be who you were meant to be and love who you are meant to love. You know what I mean? I had these coworkers a few years back, and I don't know how we got into the discussion, but I was talking to this man about if his son was gay. I think he said his son was like 12 or 13 or something. And, he definitely said, "Hey, Malika." He definitely said that if he found out his son was gay, he would kick him out on the street. And I couldn't believe that this black man was sitting in front of me saying that it would take such a small thing for him to throw his child out and to stop loving him. And I called him trash. I told him he wasn't shit. He wasn't. And I went, I went up to one of my higher ups and told him what happened in case he wanted to make a big deal about it. You know what I mean? But I could not just sit there and not say anything to him because it's disgusting. And this is why you hear people committing suicide. This is why you hear people depressed. This is why you hear people slitting their wrists because of mentality like that. Whether or not you agree with that person's lifestyle, even though I don't know why you wouldn't.
I swear I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
It don't.
You would kick your own child out.
Should not even give. Why do you care? That's what I never understood.
And like why in this community, we're so like it's so funny. Like I really don't see the black people who are homophobic. I really don't see no difference between them and racist white people.
Right.
Because when we're in conversations like this, been countless times where I've been in situations with my coworkers, and like it was like a transgender girl just started working. I think she's a man. That's a man. What the fuck does it matter? You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person, like, if I can't add something to a conversation, or if I'm in a conversation with somebody I really care about and I don't know what to say, I'm probably going to I'm going to feel real awkward. I'm going to get quiet. And I'm probably going to get up and leave because I can't add nothing to the conversation. And a lot of black women, and I will call out black women about that because y'all seem really comfortable about doing this, are very homophobic and very transphobic. And when we get into our little groups, oh, that's a man, or he fruity, or like I would never date a bisexual man, blah blah, because they're too weak or whatever. It's stuff like that. Those are homophobic phrases and words. And that shit's not cool. You know what I mean? If you feel a certain type of way, keep that shit to yourself.
Because how can we expect and ask for equality and equal treatment, and then we turn around
and oppress people
to do the same exact thing?
They have no control over their sexuality. It's the way that they are.
It's just awkward, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure do come from a lot of men are like that. So a lot of men are like that, and they get taught growing up that being gay is wrong. And they pass it on to their children.
I mean, they get ups. That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand. If you see the rage, like the upset, the butt hurtness, it's like weird. Like, why are you so upset?
Yeah.
Why are you so offended by what they're doing?
Or taught that being gay is wrong from childhood, and that is correct. We are taught those things from childhood. We have to start to let those things go. It's 2021. When are you going to let that toxic masculinity go? We tell our sons they can't cry. You can't wear pink. This is for a girl. This is for a girl. Like I had these conversations with my own son. He's like, can I wear this? He asked all these questions, and it's like, why are you? I said, listen, you can wear whatever you want to wear. Pink doesn't mean anything big. If you wear pink, that doesn't make you any less of a boy. Clothes and colors are social constructs. You know what I mean? Back in the day, pink was not a girl color. It wasn't created as a color strictly for girls. So you putting on pink doesn't make you any less of a little boy. I let him be who he wants to be and figure out who he wants to be. Experimenting with clothes, experimenting with color, experimenting with a variety of things, crying, having emotions, and being sensitive does not define whether or not you are a man at all. So I really need our Black men to do better in regards to that. And if you do find out that someone is gay, it is what it is. It doesn't affect you. All gay men don't want you.
I think that's what it is. That must be it. They must think that they're gonna hit on them.
You know what
or,
I mean?
I don't fucking know.
Like,
I really don't get it. I
Like,
swear I don't get it. Like, it doesn't.
They broke the mold. Like, I went, all the gay men gonna want me.
Right,
If
like,
I found out they gay, they gonna want
They gonna hit on me.
You know,
I just don't want that around. They're gonna be perverted and try to look at me like I don't get it. I don't. Nobody wants you. Want you. Bye.
But there are a lot of LGBTQIA youth on the streets. That is a large population of them that are homeless because they have been kicked out of their homes. You know what I mean? When you get kicked out on the street, you turn to drugs, you turn to prostitution.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want that life for your child? Why would you want that life for your child? Because you're concerned about what other people think or whatever you feel like you were taught that's in their Bible. You kick your son out on the street for being gay, but you probably just sleeping around on your goddamn wife. Like,
I don't understand what you worry about they stuff for, you know. It's just weird to me.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
What
you gonna think about it all the time?
You know
like they
what I
must
mean?
obsess about like they probably picture their sons having sex with men or something. Like it's
they,
something else.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. Or
yeah, they probably do.
They imagine a certain type of filthy lifestyle or something. I think that's what it is. Like, oh, you probably just out there. You know, like I think that's kind of how they look at it. Like,
I truthfully believe that the men who say like homophobic stuff like that push it so hard. I truthfully believe wholeheartedly that they got because all the times, like anytime, like a guy who was on a DL has ever been found out, you always see him accompanied by like homophobic but your rhetoric and everything like that. I feel like they push it.
Like Kevin Samuels.
Yes, I feel like they push it so hard. Like they push it so hard. You know what I mean? To get the attention off of them, off of their ways and stuff like that. Like
overzealous, like overhyped. Like, oh, what? I beat you. They get extra hype, and it's like
he couldn't possibly. He don't even like these.
That's what he loves them. Right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? He's
but no, there's a whole lot of DL men. First of all, when we talk about they are projecting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about trans women, right? Who y'all think trans women sleeping with?
Mm-hmm. Who y'all think?
Listen.
Who y'all think?
Straight men. Supposed to be straight men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who y'all think that trans women are sleeping with? Mm-hmm. There is no way that trans women can primarily do sex work and things like that without having customers.
Right.
I'm so tired of this whole narrative. Yes.
Allegedly.
I'm so tired of this whole narrative. They out there tricking men and everything. Giving like everything, everybody, every race, every religion, everything. People got their bed, it was whatever, but they ain't tricking no fucking body. Them niggas want their shit.
Exactly.
They want their shit. Just say a lot, say proud is cool, ain't nothing wrong with me.
Nobody should care.
People can't. Nobody should care. It's the future. Get with it. Get lost. Ain't nobody really give a fuck.
I honestly just want to say to anybody out there who is still in the closet, that is still questioning. I mean, everybody has to come out on their own time. Right. But I'm saying, if you're in the closet and you're questioning, don't wait to live your full and authentic life. Mm-hmm. You are going to lose some people, depending on who your family and friends are. You are going to lose some people. And as painful as it might be, that's okay, because you're going to gain other people. You will have people that come into your life and love who you are as a person, the real you, that won't care about who it is that you lay in the bed with. They won't care that you are transitioning. When you get rid of trash, it opens the door for people who are going to embrace you. And that love is going to be so much better because somebody is finally seeing the real you. You are finally free. That's freedom. Like the entire time that you are closeted and not coming out and not saying it and living in your truth, that's a form of slavery. You are being a slave to what society says or what your family wants for you, your friends, and you're afraid of the judgment. We all get judged. We only get one life to live. So I just want people to live it to their fullest. If you are depressed, you know, and even if you don't come out and you say, I'm still not coming out, still get therapy. That has to be hard on you, you know, disguising pieces of yourself and tucking them away. Get therapy, talk to someone about it. It's not worth you losing your life over other people's opinions of you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that understand now. There's always going to be people who are ignorant. Want to say, what's this? What's that? Why would you do that? Those people don't matter.
Don't answer no question. Okay, don't answer no fucking questions
Right.
either. Don't kiss your ass. Go
Right.
read a book, bitch.
Those people don't matter. I don't want to be the dead horse because we are going to talk a little bit more about it later on with Pose because it's you know it relates to it. So we'll get into that a little bit more later. So now I'm gonna just turn it on over to Tokyo and let's get inside the box, okay? And if you don't know what the box is, yours is probably dusty.
Not dusty. Okay, so I'm continuing the BDSM series. Last time we talked about bondage and discipline, and this week we're going to talk about dominance and submission. So, dominant submission is a set of behaviors, customs, and rituals involving submission of one person to another. The dom takes the role of the leader, the guide, the enforcer, protector, or mommy or daddy. The sub or bottom takes on the role of the pleaser, brat, tester, baby girl or boy, or servant.
What you mean tester?
I meant teaser. Oh, tester, like a test their boundaries. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, see how far it's gonna
Right.
go sexually.
no, just like a like how much they get away with. You know what I mean? So when you're a bottom or a sub, sometimes like you heard of brats. You know, they be like, oh, I don't want to do that, just to kind of get in trouble. So you kind of test how far you can get.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, what can I do to kind of like get in trouble, or it's a little goofy. It's a little goofy, but that's what you are. You're testing the boundaries. See how far you can get before you get disciplined or stuff like
okay.
that.
I get it.
How far can you get with your dom before you get in, or
like going against y'all rules and stuff like that. Okay.
pretty much, yeah. Or you could be a switch, which is you are comfortable as a dom or a sub. Okay. Now physical contact is not necessarily it doesn't have to happen in a DS relationship. So when you're in a dom sub relationship, you don't necessarily have to do anything physical to them. You can be a dom and be far away. You can be anonymous. You can be you can go online and find a sub and y'all kind of like they get dominated online or over the phone. Like, say for instance, like the sub want to go to the market or something like that and they need money. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, should I spend this money on so and so? The dom can give you permissions, yes or no. Okay. So you can do that over the phone. You don't have to be face to face or actually get disciplined or anything like that. Those relationships are pretty interesting to me because
I had a girlfriend who was in a relationship.
a dom sub.
Yes,
but
it was like backwards. Like she was the
sub.
dom,
She was a dime.
and he was the sub, but he had money.
Mm-hmm.
I used to call him Nosferatu because that's what he looked like. He looked like Nosferatu.
I know Nosferatu.
He did, and I never believed her. Like I thought she was gassing it up and everything. Like he lived in England. I'm like, he's sending me money, child. She got on the phone. She was like, watch this. She pulled this phone up. She was like, I need $500, you ugly shit. And like she went.
Okay, so he like humiliation.
She went in on his spirit, and I'm just like. And he's like, Sarah, why are you talking to me? Sarah. And he sent the money. I said, ooh.
So he seems to be into humiliation.
So she's money.
So
Where might I find
I'm trying to find
a sub like that? That's what kind of dom sub relationship I'm into.
And then like he over in England and she like in America and shit. So she ain't even got to suck no dick for it.
No, you don't have to do any of that. You don't even have to be really sexual.
Oh, Zakira, you're a switch? Okay.
Are you? That's cool.
Switch stuff.
She's comfortable as a dom or a sub.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool though to be able.
Do you be beating Chris ass? You can inbox me later. You don't have to tell everybody, but you can tell me later.
No, but that's pretty cool. So DS relationships are an exchange of power, not a surrender of power. And I think that's a big misconception when it comes to DS relationships. You think that the sub is like giving up their control or like being like weak and stuff like that. But that's not really the case. You're kind of like, your dom has to earn your submission. So you have to trust them. They have to show you that they're a good person, that they're they have a good sense of justice, a good sense of character, stuff like that. And then you say, okay, I'm willing to surrender to you, or I'm willing to be your sub, and I want you to be my dom. So it's a good communication situation. Like they have a lot of talk, a lot of contract, a lot of discussion of what's hard limits. Hard limits are things that you are absolutely not with, like in regards to being dominated.
Hey.
She said the subs have all the control.
They do have all the control. If the sub does not trust the dom anymore, the dynamic is over. So the dom won't get their fix of dominating that person. You know what I mean? And once they take a sub under their wing, that's like their person. You know what I mean? It's a real deep connected relationship at that point. So if the sub says, okay, you did this incorrectly, or you did a hard limit, or just your trust is broken, you no longer have that control, and the bond is broken and the relationship is done. So the sub has all the control in the relationship, even though it's perceived like the dom do. You know what I mean? They do have control in the instance, but like the sub that shit can be over if they want to.
But you know what? I believe that, because I'm not going to say their names, but you know who I'm talking about. They had the dom and sub relationship, and yeah, she really was controlling that relationship, and she could do whatever she wanted to do.
She could.
Yeah, and I feel like he thinks he has power, but that's
how it is. The dom believes they have power, but the whole point of the dominance though is to really kind of take care of your sub. So even though it seems like you're just like to the perceived like you're just being demeaning, or you're just being hard on them or something like that, that's not really the case. Technically, you're kind of like giving them what they want. Like you're trying to take care of them and kind of guide them a certain type of way, or do something that's beneficial for them. But it kind of it benefits you too, because if it's pain or something that they want and you like it, like if you're sadist, you get pleasure out of it as well. You get the pleasure out of being able to control certain parts. But the sub controls the whole dynamic, pretty much. Like they have all the control. Now, to be in the sub dom relationships, there are head spaces to it. So there's subspace and there's dom space. So subspace is the emotional, physiological feelings subs experience during a scene. So a scene is like when they're doing the thing, like when they're in the DS moment, like when they're getting disciplined or bondage or whatever the situation is. This is the mindset they have to get into in order to get through it, type of thing. This creates a drunk or high feeling where the pain is gone, problems disappear, and your current state of mind is dizzy and joyful, almost trance-like.
So it's like a drug?
Yes. So your body releases a lot of chemicals when you go through these scenes, or like last time we talked about discipline and bondage and stuff like that. So that's a scene when they're wrapping you up, or you're getting spanked or punished and stuff like that. That's a scene. And in order to get through that scene, your body releases a bunch of chemicals and endorphins, almost like fight or flight. And you kind of have like a morphine effect. So you kind of get almost calm and like trance-like.
Okay.
And that's kind of the level they're trying to get to. Like they like that feeling is enjoyable for them, the subs. It's interesting because even though the subspace is enjoyable and they like it and stuff like that, it's also a negative effect to it. So it's something called sub drop. Sub drop is the after effects of the scene. So after the scene, subs tend to be like, they can get depressed, they can get and that's just all the chemicals off of their drug. Yes. So all those endorphins is coming out and releasing, and it's like they feel like crap. Hey, Chris. Awful. Hey, Chris. They feel really bad. They feel like disgusted. Like so they have a lot of negative feelings that come to them afterwards, and that's where the dom is supposed to do aftercare. They're supposed to make sure they feel good. Give them they'll talk about aftercare in their talks, in their in the beginning when they get into a relationship. So they'll talk about some people just like a cup of tea and to be held, or some people like to lay and just feel at one with their dom and stuff like that. So it's not always just them get beat and then they gotta go here about their business. It has to be aftercare. That's a very important thing in a DS relationship. So the dom space, in order for them to get through their scene, they are also enter into like an altered state of mind. It's intense, amplified sensation, hyper focused, hyper aware of only the scene and the sub. So it's almost like what's the word, like you're hyper aware. You know what I mean? Like, so you're doing something and kind of very focused on how the sub is reacting. So when you spank them and it gets red, or you're going to see how they body react, you're kind of really focused on what is pleasuring her, what is this doing, and you have to focus on how she's reacting, because it tells you whether or not this is actually pleasing her or she's actually getting hurt, and like it's not a good thing. Because some people can have
sex regardless. You need to be hyper focused on it.
Yeah, I mean that's true. And in sex, you should be hyper focused on your partner and if they feel good. But
we all know
people don't. But in these type of dynamics, because pain and stuff like that is involved, they kind of really got to focus on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's the dom space. They got to get hyper focused. They got to get secure in their situation, what they're going to do, and that's kind of how their mind goes. Which I feel like is very interesting, because I didn't know it was a dom space. And when I was first researching stuff, I didn't know that I always knew about subspace. I didn't know about dom space. Dom space is interesting. I didn't know they get hyper focused and hyper aware.
Be in a dom sub relationship. Would you trust your husband to be your dom?
I don't like following directions.
So you would have to be the dom?
Maybe, but I play too much. It's hard. Like, I feel like if I do be a dom, I'm gonna laugh too much. It's gonna fuck it up. Like, I can't. I don't know how to be serious like that. But I don't know.
I feel like you could be a sub to the right person. I feel like you would like
get irked though. Like, who talks to them? No, I don't know. Because like you say something a little like, I mean, say something like when you cook a dinner, I'm like, what? So I don't know. If it's in a sexual way.
In a sexual way. Not like make the tacos.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I would try it though. I'm gonna laugh, but I would try it. I think
if he was like, get on all fours.
How can one?
You know what? I would try it.
She would be in trouble all the time.
I would be getting my ass smacked all the time. Like
and then you also would like that though. Yeah. See?
I would try it though. If he was into that, I would try it. It'll be funny.
So husband, if you're watching, get on all fours. Oh my God. See what happens.
I'm gonna laugh.
Put your ass in there. Put your ass in there. She want to do it.
I'll probably laugh, but I'll probably do it.
She want to do it. She want to do it.
So there are many types of DS relationships. There's DDLG, but I'm gonna get into that a little bit in a minute. DDLG, there's MDLG, which is mommy dom, little girl. Then there's MDLB, which is mommy dom, little boy. There's just dom and sub. There are adult baby diaper lovers. That's another one. I might do a whole video on that. I don't know yet. Very interesting.
Do they shit in a diaper?
They do. They shit in it. Yeah. They shit, they pee. And if they're in trouble, they have to sit in there for a long time. Yeah. It's a whole thing. I might do a video on that. Just tell me if y'all want me to do a video on adult baby diaper lover below. Very interesting. But today, I'm gonna just talk about.
That sounds like a yeast infection,
and I'm sure it is. I'm gonna talk about DDLG, which is day down little girl. Now, it's a lot of controversy with daddy dom.
That's what I'm saying.
They sit in it.
You gotta sit in it. Who's clean?
They're not allowed to use the bathroom. You have to ask your dom, can you go use the potty?
And if they say no,
no.
Well, I'm gonna be in trouble because I'm going to the bathroom. Like, because who cleans them up?
If they do.
Who?
The down, or they would.
The down wipes they shit up.
They would. Yes.
Can't nobody wipe my ass like I wipe my ass.
Which is the truth.
All right, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna go.
It's a lot. If y'all want me to really get in depth with it, I can.
Oh, you get turned into a meme. Yo, I sit in it. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
it's cool. It's cool. So, Daddy Down a Little Girl, that it has a lot of negative connotations to it. People really look down on this DS type of relationship because it's a grown man or grown fatherly type of figure who is in a relationship with a adult woman who is pretending to be a child type of thing. I don't know. People look at it like a pedophile type of thing, which is not. It's two adults. I get it, but it's not the case. They're two adults. It's two adults, and that's like the bottom line. You don't even have to think deeper into it. It's two adults doing this, so it should be.
I'm not even mad at them because listen, like, keep them pedophiles away from you kids.
Right.
We're gonna have child,
but they not
do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, but it's not like the dolls are attracted to little girls. I just want to preface that, like, they're not attracted to little girls. Okay, they are being a dominant figure or a caregiver to a female adult. You know what I mean?
Okay, so they're not pedophiles.
No, they're not into children and just want a adult to look like a child.
Okay,
no, they're being they're dominating a female woman.
Well, yeah,
she's just the diaper
and see coochie.
Yeah.
You gotta get that shit out the coochie.
Oh, shut up! Oh my god! Oh god!
No! It's giving me skin and cheese.
What do they wipe it with? Do they wipe it with like
wait, but you know, like, do y'all want me to talk about the whole thing?
Flushable. They don't do the.
You know, it's a whole store for adult baby diaper lovers. Like, you can buy online. You can buy adult diapers that look like baby diapers.
Well, we know about the regular adult diapers.
No, not regular adult diapers. Like, they look like, they look like baby diapers. Like, they're adult size. It's not like a pull-up, like the old people pull-ups. No, they're real diapers you got to take off like a baby.
Okay, Otis, because my thing is, for it to be an online store for diapers, a big community. That means that it's a big community of people out there purposely shitting on themselves. You're not incontinent. Right. You're sitting in shit and urine, and then somebody is sucking a dick and eating a box after that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Listen. Now we don't kink shame.
I kink shame.
When it comes to shit and bodily fluid situations, you got a little bit of an issue with it. I'm pretty serious.
Not them. Me. I'm judging.
You get sick.
Yeah. Shit is pretty serious.
Why am I playing shit? They tell you after you done shitting to wash your hands for a reason.
Right.
Front to back, honey. Front to back. Yep. Not sitting it.
It's the whole thing. I mean, some people find the diaper actually sexually arousing. The diaper lovers literally, for some reason, has a sexual feeling to wearing a diaper. It's something about it. I don't know. Oh my god!
Did you get like toxic shock?
I don't think you get toxic shock.
You can't get toxic shock.
No, it's not up in you.
From sitting on shit in that diaper, like, cause it's chemicals.
You can definitely get yeast infections, bacterial infections, things like that.
You're like, yeah, something in your teeth. Ew. Little corn nuggets and shit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
We're talking about
yes,
Daddy Dogs and Little Girls.
Yes.
So this is basically a relationship in which one person is the caregiver or the daddy, and the other is the child or little girl or little. They call themselves little. They don't call themselves little. They call little. I'm a little.
Okay.
DLG dynamics tend to be more nurturing and intimate. Daddy Doms do not like harming the littles, but he may give out spankings. But only if it's for her own good. Daddy Dom cares, guides, dominates, punishes, praises, comforts, understands, and loves his little. He only wants what's best for her. So, in this dynamic, the little just wants to be taken care of. They want to be treated as if They're just a young child being nurtured by their father. They don't have to worry about anything. They don't have to. All the worries of the world is out the window. You know,
Daddy paid his PGW bill. That's the kind of little girl I'll be.
That's what it is.
Hey, see it in 2 bed right there.
Don't be confused with sugar daddy. Sugar daddy is a whole different situation.
Why can't I have both?
Why they not sugar daddy?
They ain't got no dominance over nobody. You just give them a little something, they give you a little money. That's sugar. They give you sugar.
Well, I can't. If I'm gonna be the little, this little need her. Daddy.
I'm about to say it's about like the same thing because you gotta fuck an old man to get the tag.
This pink hole bill is stressing me out, Daddy. I'm young. I never paid bills before.
You know what? You know what?
I could get into that.
I act real childish.
Yeah.
How childish you want me to act?
Lollipops and these sides, bitch.
I'll break your property. That's childish.
Oh
Okay. What you want me to do? What you want me to do?
Give me a pacifier.
So
Sweet note.
Let me tell you something.
can you put up the the DDLG picture?
Please, Otis.
Because she just said give me a pacifier, and that just made me think of the photo I sent.
Oh,
If you can this in your list of things. If not,
I'm not seeing a DDLG picture.
okay.
You're fired.
Ain't no picture.
There it goes. I found it.
Right there. That's it. Daddy's reading baby girl a little book. With a pacifier.
And while he read me that book, when he flipped that next page, that Pico bill won't be right on page.
Look at that book and I'm like,
Shoot. Pico.
Like what that said? Oh, this is a scary book. They're trying to say 600. I'm terrified. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, I thought we was reading people to be
Oh, the Philadelphia water running down. Daddy, homie, I'm scared.
oh God. Yo.
So gas. Where did that come from? When Dr. Seuss start rhyming about gas?
So yes. So okay, so that's the dom's, the daddy's role. The little girl is to be naturally submissive. She has complete trust, respect, and admiration for daddy. She might be sassy, needy, bratty, and whiny, but also in an innocent way. So there's also a discrepancy between DDLG dynamic and age play. It's very interesting to me because even though DDLG is age play, they are age regression.
What age play is for those that might
So
not
age
know.
play is just a person who pretends to be an age which they are not. They tend to be, whether you pretend to be, you're 40, you pretend to be 16. It's just age regression play. The difference that I keep reading about is DDLG believes that daddies and littles are always littles. So they're never, I don't want to say they're never acting different age, but littles believe that they always are in touch with their inner child. Like they always feel childlike. They have childlike interest. They have childlike mannerisms, demeanors. It's just part of their personality. So that's why they consider themselves a little. I'm a little. This is just who I am. Age play people tend to just do that for a scene. Okay. So they want to age regress. They're a baby for this scene that we're doing. But after that, you're probably regular. You're back to your regular age. You're cool. Okay. But with DDLG, that's not the case. These dynamics are kind of set. Like I am a little all the time. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. And for some reason, a lot of people that's DDLG have an issue with being called age players because they feel like it's not for play. Like it's not for play. This is
like,
who I am. Right. It's not for play. Like I'm not playing.
Like you don't grow the fuck up, bitch. Like, shut your age.
And I read like this one. The one that I read that talked about this, she was like, for some reason she feels uncomfortable to say she's an age player because it doesn't feel like she's playing, And she was saying even when she has to work an adult job, she has to be an adult, but she still acts her same way. But it's like she got to remember not to like nag or like say certain things out loud because she knows that it's not acceptable for an adult. So she kind of just like gotta like be quiet
I
most of the time.
Oh, those type of people will burn me up in my soul.
But the ones that act like
oh
children.
my God, like have your kinky sex behind your indoors. I cannot work with mild-mannered people. Not mild-mannered people. I can't work with childlike people.
Yeah.
I can't. If we are in a professional setting and
the
you
voice
want
is annoying.
Yes,
the voice is annoying. I've seen some baby talking.
I'm gonna need for you
It
to
burns me up, but
I don't like them quaint people.
I'm gonna need for you to be an adult in an adult situation, okay? You wanna be that do you
but that's the thing.
Cool. Don't call me.
That's the thing though. They don't feel as though they're playing. So
like
littles don't feel like they're playing. They don't feel like they're being in a sexual situation. You know,
like,
it's just they feel like their inner child is always present.
Like bitch, you playing, you ain't 16 no more. If you not once you turn 17 and you started pretending to be 16, you was officially fucking playing, bitch. It was over. It was over. The year's done. It's done. You're a grown ass fucking woman. Like,
I told you that's why I don't like them. I never say the word right. The quaint.
What was?
I'm cute.
I can't stand that shit. The Kuwait shit.
I never say the word right.
I can't stand that shit. Could you imagine having like file papers in your hand? Like, listen, this needs to be filed in the cabinet at a certain time. Oh, bitch! If you don't put this in the fucking system, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I'll be ready. I would, you know that meme of Jason from that movie White Snake Mom when he just staring at him like because bitch.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I can't. Where's your grown woman voice at? I know you got a period. Stop playing with me.
It's some kind of correlation between those. I can't say the word. You know how to say it. Quiet people and this fucking little shit. Because I feel like you 40 years old with big ass bows and sprinkles on your face.
I think it's just, I don't know. I actually think it's just an Asian, like it's an Asian thing. Like they just liked it.
No, it's not only Asian women that do that.
It's a lot of different race women.
Yeah, it's not just Asian women. I actually find it more acceptable. I find it more acceptable for the Asian women, you know, because half the time they do look like little girls,
and they act like that anyway.
But then when we adopt some things in our culture, and it's like, bitch, you was 40 years ago.
I can understand you wanting to dress like that. You know what I mean?
I think the aesthetic is cute.
I think if you want to dress like that, that's fine.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, you want to dress like that.
But I do think it's a time.
But like Zakira,
exactly, like
it's more than a fashion statement.
I thought
it is more than a fashion statement. Because some of these people really be.
But you know they do it for the internet. Some of them, I know what you're talking about. But
they really do walk around in real life like
the aesthetic. The aesthetic is
they
think it's cute and girly.
Wait, I wouldn't have a problem with it if you just wanted to wear the clothes, and stuff. But when you start talking like that, that's what annoys me.
The cringiness of a talking. First of all, Mariah Carey do it all the time. That voice.
She whistle.
There's a couple.
I feel so.
And she do little stuff like she do little stuff. It's very cringy. It's very annoying. You know what I mean? But maybe that's because we're not in that lifestyle and like it's not appealing to us. It's annoying. But to a Dom, Daddy Dom like it. So Daddy Dom,
Daddy Dom probably like it. But if you ain't getting your bills paid, I don't know. That's I'm sorry.
That's true. I agree. I agree with y'all. Everything y'all saying is very hilarious. But this is
no! Don't you send me nothing. I don't want to see none of them girls from TikTok. Yes.
Oh, Daddy, my boots just fell out of my shorts. Oh, what am I going to do with all these things? Like somebody please choose this hoe.
Oh shit!
Take her off the market. Like what y'all pandering for, nigga?
Oh, wow! Oh god!
Oh yes.
Like, why y'all
DDLG.
I don't
Very
care because
interesting.
there's somebody somewhere talking about men because I watch anime and I'm a witch. So fuck it.
They watching it like these black bitches.
Always talking.
These devil worshippers, you're going to hell. It's gonna be lit.
It will. I say that all the time. I say it all
You
the time.
want to do okay?
Hell's to be lit.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I know I sound like them. That's why they should have noticed me.
But that is my segment on Dom Sub and BDLG relationship. Do what you do, live your life. If you enjoy it, be safe, practice aftercare. Please,
Yes.
aftercare is very important. I need y'all to understand the seriousness of aftercare. I have read so many articles, and aftercare is the most important thing in the world. If y'all gonna do these dynamics, you need to learn everything you need to learn about it. Be safe out there and have fun. That's
Wrap it up.
Yep.
Don't make no
Be safe
babies
out
if
there.
you still want to be a baby. How about that? How about that? Okay.
true.
The little girls get abortions. That's what I want to know.
Little get aborted.
Do they?
I'm sure they do. If they don't want no baby.
Shit, they don't. How you want to share? You want to change both our diapers? Huh? Huh?
You know what?
Like, we gotta have this adult conversation.
Can you turn it off real quick?
Stop it! I'm not a little boy.
In the goddamn match, screaming match with your Tyler and shit.
She gonna be like, "What happened to your baby boy?" Like, I gotta get an abortion, Dad.
And I feel like that's exactly how they probably say
The
that.
baby's having a baby.
I gotta get rid of the.
I can't believe it.
Oh my
I didn't know vaginas did that. You didn't tell me that.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
Daddy, I missed my period. Like, what?
Yo.
Woo.
Yo,
I'm sorry, y'all. But sometimes we go here. This is for our entertainment right now. Not yours. Oh shit! All right, we gonna take it on over and start our mayhem and media segment with Toni. Toni.
Mayhem immediately.
Oh, she's so cute.
y'all is so working. I cannot.
One of them bitches gonna leave a nasty comment.
Yep. Please, so I could drag your fucking cute ass.
What that one guy said, gonna be a
Oh my god.
give tooth monstrosity.
Oh my god.
Give tooth monstrosity.
Y'all, so you know, we new to having this podcast and all this social media stuff, and this guy left a comment on one of the videos and called Toni a gap tooth monstrosity.
So disrespectful.
I didn't want to tell her. I just banned him. Like, I just banned him.
He all busted.
They're like, why you?
what?
They're like, why you do it?
I just wish that, because I expect it. You know what I mean? It's the internet. I say mean things about people on the internet all the fucking time. All the time. I expect it. I just hope that when you come for my gate, that you don't do like the Nutty Professor jokes. I heard those.
No, ma'am.
Okay. No SpongeBob jokes. I heard the SpongeBob jokes.
No,
okay?
ma'am.
Not the sign in between the teeth. I heard that. All the basic Gabe jokes. Let's just try. Like, before you type it in,
right.
rehearse in front of your family.
You Sakira said, I'm sorry for laughing. Listen.
Because it was so not get too monster, but monstrosity.
Like it was early in the morning. I'm just
Like,
going to check the messages. I'm like,
I just want y'all to know
man.
that it's been here for a long time now. I heard a lot of shit, so just be original. Make me laugh.
Yeah, be original, hoe.
Yeah,
But
that was pretty funny.
she told me I shouldn't have deleted it. And if it was about myself, then I probably wouldn't have deleted it. But because I'm protective of my friends, that's why I deleted it.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? I think all worse.
I had to remember that these are professional pages, and so where normally I want to drag somebody go on their profile, find they, buck tooth children and talk about them and stuff. That I need the,
with a mouth like mine, girl, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. The furry community probably already hates my ass.
They got a page strictly for you.
They done
made a page like this.
You can't convince me. Y'all motherfuckers not getting sorry. I'm sorry. You get staph infections, Martha, and them fucking costumes. I don't care what anybody say. Anyway, mayhem and medium.
yes, ma'am.
My first two topics are very serious
touching
topics.
stuff.
Yeah,
Tokyo,
right?
you did touch it.
I was so careful.
You were not.
Oh my God.
Cause you messed it up. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all getting on my face. Look at this.
I'm telling you,
This behind the scenes.
I'm trying to fit. Every time you do the camera, I'm trying to fit back in the scene.
Yeah, but she messed it. She
I
messed
didn't
it up.
touch it. I literally
You
was like the most.
Wait, how she gonna say she didn't touch it when she
It was
just
so
plugged the charger up? Listen,
It was so gentle.
we live. As T.S. Madison would say, "Who is you live?" We are. So you're gonna get the good, the bad, and the ugly.
All right.
But go on, Tony.
So our first topic, we just gonna get it right off. Miserable as R. Kelly, Robert Kelly. Two of his lawyers. As of I want to say, child, my nose is terrible. Is it June?
look at him in that fucking
I don't know how to fault tie nobody.
That is all you see when you see it.
Hog tie nobody. Why would I hold her? You know what I mean? He thought he was convincing somebody. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Let his ass rot in jail.
So two of R. Kelly's longtime attorneys decided to drop out just months before his federal case. Okay, in Brooklyn. Child, no, girl, it's just the beginning, just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, they claimed that they had dropped out because his other lawyers that are working with them are inexperienced, and they're saying that they're not giving the best advice to their clients at this time period. So they decided to drop out. If you don't know what R. Kelly is being charged with in federal court, it's racketeering, sexual exploitations of a child, and enticement and bribery. That's only in Brooklyn. Okay, he's got other charges in other places. This, like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay. Child. Okay, it was last Monday they filed in federal court to be relieved of his case beginning in August. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't care about R. Kelly.
I don't. I'm glad she said
all the miserable things that happened to him.
said
I want to update y'all on his miserable life because he made so many young girls miserable. Why not, be happy about his,
his misery and his karma. I don't give a fuck. I don't.
Never find another one.
And a lot of people be upset because he's an older black artist, an OG artist. I understand. He fucked up. I understand.
Dumb shit.
I was a big R. Kelly fan. I love R. Kelly music.
So was I.
I still like his music, but
I don't listen to it at all. I can't.
It's hard for me to. I'm be totally honest with you. I don't listen to it in public. If it come on, it's by mistake, and I'm just debating on whether I should turn it off or not. But you damn sure not gonna hear it because I'm embarrassed to listen to it.
Right? That's messed up. That's your legacy. Man.
That's your legacy. You know what I mean? That's your legacy, and a lot of black people are mad because he is an old 90s R&B singer, and he was talented. Very good. He was very good.
It's just that it's hard for me to listen to it because everything was surrounded about sex. His charges is about sex and everything. So everything he's saying in the songs, just like, ew, you talking about little girl. Like I can't.
Like you're ready.
Right. Everything he sings is so sexual that I cannot. Separate it. It's very hard. Now other people's that been through shit, I can separate it because if it's not a sexual thing or if it's not his songs are not sexual in nature and he has a sexual charge, then I can separate it. But this is too intertwined. I picture the things when I hear the songs. Like I can't. It's too hard. But I mean, people who can't separate it, good for them. But
so fuck them.
Like I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad about him. Everything that happens in the dark always comes to light. Always come to light. You know what I mean? And the whole this blanket like pedophilia have on the black community because they do have a hold on it. Y'all want to keep denying that this shit happens, or y'all want to keep making excuses for pedophiles? Like,
How the fuck y'all excuse pedophiles but hate gays? What the fuck? That makes no sense to me.
Figure that one out, huh?
Y'all
That
gonna
makes
hide the
sense.
shit out of the pedophile and be like, yeah, that's his uncle. He just do that.
The pedophile
Y'all
be
accept the shit
sitting
out
at
of
the
them.
damn table with
That's just
y'all.
not
Y'all
cool.
accept the shit out
But
of
y'all
them.
mad at
Child.
gay Uncle Bobby. Like,
That-
I'm confused.
And that's just not cool, and that's
Weird.
why R. Kelly got to the point that he was at, because so many people, so many
Enabled
black people. If you watch
They
the
enabled him,
documentary,
They
they
knew.
enabled him.
They knew.
Of course.
Every
Just
single one
turned
of
a
them.
blind eye.
Every single one of
The
them.
fact that he married Aaliyah should have been ridiculous.
Child.
She's a child.
They said they walked in on him
Yeah,
while they was
yep,
having sex.
yep,
That would have been
yep,
the end of it right
yep,
then and there. Because why the fuck is they grown ass man having sex with that 15-year-old?
And she looked like a little girl.
And y'all, and a lot of people be like, "Oh, well, those girls are fast. Those girls are fast."
No, why do
No.
they always? I never understood why you blame the child for the things an adult did.
As
I never
a
understand
child.
it. They could be easily manipulated. He said all of them they about to be famous. That was manipulation from the jump. Like I don't understand.
As an adult, when I'm looking back as I was as a child, I made a tremendous amount of dumb fucking decisions. A dumb decision.
You think you're wrong?
And then, so for me to sit there and be like, "Oh, those girls are grown. All those girls knew better. All those," but I knew for a fact that I didn't know better.
Right. Or if I did, I thought I was old enough to take the consequences. You didn't realize how bad it was about to be.
I'm
Like,
telling you.
Well, then T.I. and Tiny gonna be in jail right
Child,
beside.
speaking of R. Kelly, let's get to him. Oh, child, because this rabbit hole just go deep. There's a lot of news I had to say, okay? So T.I. and Tiny, of course, like a lot of y'all know, or maybe some of y'all don't know, a lot of allegations came out in January about them. The other woman in this picture is Sabrina Peterson. She is one of the accusers of, going against T.I. and Tiny about sexual allegations. One of them. She has a lawsuit against T.I., but not for sexual allegations. Her lawsuit is for defamation of character, okay? And this is because T.I. and Tiny are constantly going to the media. That's why we talk about now, because he came out with a video, and he was depicting his wife and himself as like victims, and like the women a false statement, and the women who was accusing him are all after money. And one of the women, particularly in that video, he was, mainly saying that it was Sabrina. Yeah. And so she's tired, she told him she wanted an apology. This is before the video came out, I believe. Told him he wanted an apology. He said he didn't say anything. He posted a picture of him and Kevin Hart and some other celebrities laughing, saying apology, question mark. Yeah,
So the allegations are saying what? That they
the
them?
allegations are all similar and at the same time very different.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are either he pulled a gun on them or Tiny drugged them.
One sex with them.
Drugged them. She gave him a drink, and a lot of the victims, they said that they went, they was dizzy and everything. Yeah, this is a very deep.
Yeah, and I believe it.
I believe
I believe it.
And that's
one girl. She says that she wasn't raped by Tiny or T.I. That actually she was raped by his entourage, and after she was raped, she was drugged, of course, so she really didn't know what was going on. And yes, this is very serious, child. And she says that he came up, he saw them, and he like, "Oh, y'all was wild," and started laughing at him. After she's still, intoxicated and everything. She said that she wasn't there to hook up with an artist or whatever. She was there strictly behind becoming a singer, because like R. Kelly, R. Kelly, he promised,
fame and fortune.
And she said that she was so not drunk, but so intoxicated that they called her mom to come pick her up, and they lied to her mom about signing the non-disclosure, saying that, "Oh no, this is just something that you sign when you hanging around celebrities and stuff," and that's how they got it.
Oh wow!
So just imagine all these women being drugged by Tiny, and signing this thing. Mind you, all of this allegedly. Let's do that allegedly, okay? I don't want to get sued, But I'm gonna tell you right now, I believe in women.
I believe it.
I believe in women.
And you know what? The issue is what happens is a lot of people think like, oh, these people are celebrities.
But Otis, you know why they're celebrities. Look how long R. Kelly was running free in these streets.
But you know what the issue is? People think that because these people are famous, that they don't have evil intentions and shit. What happens is they think that, you know, he's famous. He don't have to do that. He can give it to whoever he wants, or she can give whoever he wants. But honestly, it's not about that. They're rapists. They feel good raping and taking things from people. So it's not even about that. You know, it's not about like, oh, he can give her. Why would he rape her?
Rape is
because
about
rape is
power.
about violation and power. Yes.
Listen,
so that's what it is.
Girl, child. Okay, so they even said all the victims even said that at some point on social media or in his music, he had mentioned something along the lines of what he did. And he said nobody, you know, they all say that nobody else would notice, but that message got directly to him. And that was a telltale sign. I mean, look at R. Kelly and the shit that he did. You know what I mean? Put it in the song, put it in the artist. And that's a telltale sign for a lot of people who do stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Because because that also feeds their power situation. They feel good knowing I can say shit and nobody even know. You know what I'm saying? I'm affecting the person that I hurt. And that's a lot of times what rape does. I have a lasting effect on your life for the rest of your life. That's the most powerful thing in the world for somebody like that. So to put it in your songs and make it everybody playing it, you can never get away from it. You're constantly traumatizing the victim. That's what they do it for. Like, that's what it's for. It's not about like who you are or why. And it's like, because I can.
They all these victims,
fucked up.
All these victims have a lawyer.
Crazy.
The lawyer name is
the same lawyer, right?
The same lawyer. Let me see.
That's what
my commentary is fuck T.I. and Tiny. That's it.
I'm always trying to understand why they together, because I swear to God, she look like a fucking.
The lawyer name is Tyrone.
Miss Piggy, but like a disfigured Miss Piggy, you know?
The lawyer name is Tyrone Blackburn. He said he has spoken with over 30 women, and right now he's representing 11.
Okay. Only 11 when it comes
like y'all gotta, like, the Black community. Y'all gotta stop defending these celebrities
because they're human.
Y'all gotta stop. Let me tell you.
People,
let me tell you the problem with these fucking celebrities. Okay, first of all, the biggest problem with them is they millionaires. Okay, they fucking millionaires. Okay, they came from the hood, and every dime that I'm not mad at them for making their money. I'm not mad at them for doing better. I'm not mad at them for working themselves out. But they came from the hood. They used us to buy their mixtapes, to buy their movies, to support them. They used us to call out their names. They used us to keep them relevant. They made all this money and forgot about the hood that they came from. They don't come back and put it in a pile or like, you know, like a community center or rebuild a fucking playground. They say fuck wherever they came from. They say fuck that. They might come back for a documentary like, oh yeah, I grew up at this house, this old broken down house. You know what I mean? But they won't come back to build their hood up. They won't. Okay, that's one. Two, they fucking celebrities. They got money for fucking days. Money talks, bullshit walks. And after this whole Jeffrey Epstein situation, I will hope that y'all look at all these motherfuckers with a side eye, because every single one of them was on their fucking island, and every single one of them was violating them little girls. Okay, every single fucking one. Allegedly. But the worker said once you on that island, you knew what the fuck you was on that island for, okay? And every time you turn around, another one of these motherfuckers got their hands at some little girl panties, okay? Not only is there women coming forward, but there's also been a apparent man who has said something along this line too.
Really?
I believe it.
Allegedly.
So they drugged the man and what?
I believe it.
I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Listen. Well, let's talk about a nice positive story. After we done talked about the dredges of society. Okay. We're gonna talk about some black girl magic, Simone Biles. Oh, yes, look at her. She is. I could never do that, child. Well, maybe if I was really drunk, I might be able to get my leg up like that, or other situations. But that's another story. So I'm not gonna go on and on. I just wanted to say something positive and acknowledge Simone Biles, because you know she is creating history. She's
so young.
20.
26, I think.
25, 26.
She's decent. That's
Because
decent
her
to
and,
be like a superstar.
her and Gabby Douglas around the same age. I think Gabby is a little bit younger than her, but not by that much or whatever. So we're celebrating her because she has won more U.S. gymnastic championships than any other woman in history. She adds this milestone to a host of other accolades. At the 2016 Olympics, she became the first gymnast to win 4 gold medals at a single game. She also was the first gymnast to win 3 consecutive world all-around titles. And they can't take her.
Child, they can't.
They keep telling her, she's doing certain technical things and she's not allowed to do them.
She do what you want.
She's 24. Okay, I said like 25. Yeah, she definitely is the GOAT. But she continues to keep doing these things that they tell her she can't do. Right.
She do what you want.
Right.
Motherfucking business.
Because don't be mad at me because everybody else can't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because she a black woman.
Of course, because she's a black woman.
They do the same shit with Venus Williams.
Right.
Yeah. They'll like if you say that she's the best athlete out there, she has. If you look up, she has one of the most.
I didn't talk about her outfit. She shouldn't wear that.
Remember when she went against that Naomi girl and she was mad for rightfully so. And what they tried to do, they tried to make Naomi seem like she was a better black girl than
because she's a mixed heritage.
Yeah. Now look at her. Naomi then dropped out the French Open because they thought she was going fold when she said that she was having mental issues. You know what I mean?
Mean to her. They was mean to her.
They want you to just play their game.
Yeah. This was a long time coming. We talk about strictly gymnastics. Before Simone Biles, there was Gabby Douglas. Before Gabby Douglas, it was Dominique Dawes. People got to give Dominique her flowers too. Like she opened a lot of doors. And there's another young lady, I can't remember her name. I follow her on Instagram, and when they do that floor work with the ribbon and stuff, I'm not gonna pretend to act like I watch every Olympics gym and championship and all that stuff. Like I don't, but of course I'm rooting for everybody black, so I will take my time out to watch my fellow African American women do things. And Dominique Dawes was the original one that I was like, oh my God, this girl's body is fucking amazing. And then it just has stepped up, with each black girl that has come into the forefront. And Simone is like top tier, and she is doing things and opening doors and making history and doing things that the girl's not going to be able to do for maybe 5 years more. There's going to be some people breaking necks, arms, legs, and everything else trying to do what she does.
She do it effortlessly. I was about to say he do it effortlessly.
Okay.
It ain't nothing like what? I did that already.
There's a picture floating around of this all these black girls. And someone is mistakenly saying that it is a all black U.S. Olympic team. That's not true. Those are girls that were training with Simone Biles, and I believe it was in Texas. But they're training and they're up and coming, and hopefully we may see an all black. Probably.
She made her own team. It was like the leader of that team.
Girls like working underneath for her and training with her. Better to train with
than the best.
Right. and it's a short shelf life on being a gymnast and stuff like that. Your body can't do that forever. Dominique doesn't do that anymore. But she's not old. It's just that eventually you can't
age out.
You can't be on that balance
47
and cracking them hips and stuff.
Now you gotta take some arthritis medicine first.
But this always happens with black women when they come into sports. They have been previously predominantly white. Like, okay, take for instance, this really started with Surya Bonali, who was French, but she's African American, and ice skating. She was the first one that did that fucking backhand spring on them ice skates. Okay, I ain't met a bitch yet that could do it like that. She could do it, and she would do that shit all the time. And the judges would be like, "You can't do that."
And they would never give her
And they would
points.
penalize, yes, they would penalize her for it, but the bitch kept doing it.
They said because it was too dangerous and can't nobody else do it. But
That's a personal problem.
That sounds like a
You know what I mean?
That's a personal
That sounds like a day
problem.
problem. I can do it. Give me extra points.
That's not my problem.
She couldn't do it, and she needed to be given her flowers for being able to do it and giving her points for being able to do it. But I love the fact that she kept doing it anyway. Fuck you and your feelings. I don't give a damn if you don't give me the points. I'm gonna do it anyway because everybody is gonna know I'm the best, whether your award say it or not. Everyone is gonna know that I'm the best, and I will never forget that woman for that. And so Simone Biles is doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Venus in the world of Olympics is doing the same thing. You know, I'm just proud of them. It makes me my fat ass just want to eat a taco. But I'm gonna be clapping when y'all clapping and shit.
Because ain't no point in constantly like trying to make people happy, child. It's so many fucking people in the world. You gonna piss a lot of people off. And fuck them and they feelings. Who cares? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Who cares?
Yes. Now we're gonna close this on. I saved this for the last. The great bonnet debate.
Oh, child. This is probably gonna get heated, y'all.
Listen, the great bonnet debacle. So as everyone knows, I don't know who's saying hi on here. Oh, okay. So everyone knows that Monique went viral with this video that she did where she is addressing, you know, other Black women, young Black women in particular, and she's addressing those that she sees with, you know, out in public places. I think in particular the airport, like in their pajama pants and their slippers and their sleeping bonnets, and it has caused all this controversy, which is crazy to me, because you hear the people that's like she's talking about, you know, respectability politics, and then you got the different generations that are going back and forth over it. And people, I'm gonna wear what I want to wear, and the others like, yes, I'm glad someone said it. So we've talked about this a little bit in private, and why the hell shouldn't we talk about it when everybody else is talking about it, right? Where do y'all stand on the great bonnet debate?
Wear what I want to wear.
I wear what the fuck I want to wear.
Leave me alone. If I got rides or something in my head, I want them to be protected. And if I got to go to the store at the same time, I'm wearing the goddamn bonnet. I don't understand why everybody got a problem with it. I mean, where I want to wear. How am I affecting you? You're upset. Why are you upset? I don't get it.
I don't think she didn't seem to be angry to me.
I'm talking about everybody. People be irked. First of all, old people, I need y'all to get together. Okay. My grandmother hates that type of thing. She does not like you wearing a bonnet outside, you got pajamas on. What are you doing? You shouldn't wear that. I'm not gonna get fully dressed to go get some milk. I'm not gonna go and take my bonnet off. So y'all rather see the rides and shit sticking all around in my head instead
No,
of,
she wasn't wearing a bonnet.
she wasn't wearing, but she had a robe on.
She had a bathrobe.
She had a whole fucking bathrobe.
You supposed to use that when you get out the tub and be at home.
She
Why you
didn't
got
have
that
a
on?
bra on. Her titties was like going which way and shit.
I just don't understand why she had to make a video about it.
Don't get me started on titties. Don't get me started.
I just
on
don't
no
get why
bras.
she had to make us feel like,
You know what I mean?
she was so offended that she had to make a video to talk about Black women and what they shouldn't do.
You know
What
what
is
I
the
mean?
why?
Why?
We can do what we want to do.
Listen, she was doing too much in that video. She was.
I didn't even watch the shit.
I watched
I
the
watched
video.
like a couple words and I was like, I don't feel like it.
I watched the video.
I didn't feel like it.
She just going too far. She's being too fucking dramatic. She talking about something going to the corner store, going to like the airport and wearing it. And,
I'm gonna sleep on a plane.
And
I
then
need my
she
hair
was-
protected.
and then-
I'm 100 on.
what really pissed me off was when she was like, she was like, if I see you in public, or if any of my other aunties see you in public, we're gonna tap you and we're gonna say, beloved, love yourself more than.
Bitch, I love myself. I love myself.
If you tap me,
And
okay,
say, love
I'm
myself
not
what?
the type of person. First of all, I don't even like to be fucking touched.
Hi, Just the Best. We miss
Oh.
you.
So, I don't even like being fucking touched. Okay.
Oh yes,
What
right.
you're not gonna do is,
Baggage.
okay, and I damn sure don't like being told what to do. Am I spitting on you?
No.
Cause you know this get me that. I damn sure don't like being told what to do.
For real.
Keep your motherfucking hands off.
I just had to do worse.
You know what I mean?
I put some other shit on, something else.
You know what I mean? You better keep your motherfucking hands off me. I don't give a fuck where you see me at. I don't give a fuck. I could be in
But
church.
why does that go together though? Why the fact that I have a body on me and I don't love myself?
Why does that
I don't
go there?
understand.
So can I?
Go ahead, because
Let me
this
play
shit
devil's-
one that fuck us up. Go ahead.
Let me play devil's advocate
Okay,
for a minute, and it may be because I was raised by my grandmother. I don't know, but I just want to say that there has to be a line somewhere, right? Yes, you can be comfortable. You should be able to wear what you want to wear, but the problem is people have taken it and run the fuck away with it. That's the problem. If you are well dressed or whatever, you got your clothes on, whatever, you look like you washed your butt, and you got your bonnet on. I don't have a problem with that. That doesn't bother me. You know, I'm going to assume that you have something to do later, whatever the case may be. You ran to the store, you ran to Target, all right, fine. I do have a problem with people wearing slippers in public. I do have a problem with people wearing pajamas in public. Because you're not going to fucking tell me that you washed your ass. You're not going to tell me that you washed your ass and you put on pajamas to go out in the street. People go to their children's school for PTA meetings and report card conferences. You got on pajamas, fucking bonnets, titties flipping and flapping about. You come into your rental office with your nipples out. I done seen a bitch with their whole tits out, okay? And I'm not even exaggerating. Your whole fucking tits is out. It's a see-through shirt. You're coming to handle your fucking business about your lease and stuff. And then you got your kids with you. That's my issue. There is a line. There is a line where, no, you can't possibly care about yourself coming out the house with a see-through shirt on, dirty pajamas. Don't act like y'all ain't seen the bitches. I mean, then you got the people that so sleeping bonnets is supposed to be a protective thing, right? Protect your natural hair and all this stuff like that or whatever. Half the fucking time they got some kind of beat up lace front, some weave that's falling out. Hair, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to show you they fucked up this under there.
So it ain't about being a protective thing. That's what I'm saying. Some people, that was their argument. This a protective thing. It's protecting my hair. They're not protecting shit.
Even if they got a wig on their protecting the actual hair.
How you protecting your natural hair?
Not your natural, but whatever head is on.
What I'm saying is the weave is torn the fuck up already. The weave looked like it was in a fight with their rat.
She was going too far.
Wait. The weave looked like it was in the fight with their rat on Martin. That episode when they was in the island. That ain't no damn puppy. That's what the weave already looked like. Okay, you're not protecting that shit. So that's where I'm coming from. I don't want to see that no more. I do have an issue with that. I'm sick of black women coming out here looking nasty and dirty and stained. Now, I don't have a problem with you wearing the bonnet itself. I have a problem with everything else you were saying. The slippers, the dirty PJs, period blood on it, and shit.
See, that's
the line of work. I have. So it's a line. All I'm saying is there has to be a line.
Okay, you can wear pajamas. Go ahead, period.
No, you shouldn't be wearing pajamas outside.
It's not a line.
Why can't you do that?
You can't draw a line. That's not fair.
That's not a line.
Yes, it is.
That's not a line. You can't be a line, but there's no line.
The more you kick the line, the more people just say, well, it's all right.
You are saying don't wear pajamas outside. That's not a line. You're saying just don't wear them outside.
Okay, Secure, man, you here. We here, okay? Because the further you kick the line, the more you think you don't want dirty pajamas.
Y'all can't set a line.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
Y'all got mind y'all business.
You can wear what you want to wear.
Y'all got mind y'all business. Y'all cannot set no line. Y'all nobody be setting no line.
Just listen, at the end of the day, you don't do it. If you don't like it, you don't do it.
Exactly.
Nothing to do about somebody else doing it.
Why can't you have more esteem about yourself?
They do.
than that?
They got a lot of
They
things.
do.
They come down here not giving a fuck.
They do. They do.
I don't think that makes no sense.
know what
They have a lot of esteem and they're coming out and not giving a fuck
How
about
do you
anything.
got an esteem if you got period blood?
Let me tell
I
you
don't
something.
give a fuck
Let
about
me
what
tell
they're
you
saying.
something. Let me tell you something.
That's not esteem. You and then
No.
you tripping.
I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying pajamas. You're talking about period.
You cannot
I'm talking about
say
pajamas. I
that.
will walk outside in pajamas.
No, we're not talking about just walking outside to get
That's
your
just
mail.
No, I will go to a store. I will go
Would you
to
go to your child's school with pajamas on?
I had plenty of days. Went to the pajamas to jump baby. Yes, I had.
Did you get out the car? You got out the car?
Yes, I did.
Stop leaning up. I can't see her.
I'm sorry.
Because I wear dresses. So I wear dresses to sleep. I will walk
That
out
ain't
in
the
my
same
dress.
thing. Yeah, you see how she just turned.
She just
That's like pajamas.
No.
Oh my God.
No. That,
What are you talking
I'm
about
talking about the
pants?
pajama pants that got bang, pow, boom.
Y'all gonna hit the
Well,
ground.
then we got to follow
Y'all just
pajamas.
gonna hit the
Monkey.
Then we got to
Because you just said you sleeping real close.
No, I sleep in a dress.
You
I
sleep
sleep in dresses that I don't wear outside.
Oh,
I mean, like, not
you
real
did you buy it out the pajama session? No, exactly.
But it's their pajamas. You clearly know they're pajamas.
But what I'm saying
You
is
clearly know they're
nobody
pajamas.
will know that it's a
Yes,
pajama.
they do because I have my
I
body
see
on. I got my whole
people buy
sleepwear on.
pajamas and
I
wear
the fact that I used to have to go to school and I had to walk into school, I'll be in my fucking pajamas. And my body on. Everybody know I rolled out of bed and walked to this fucking school. Yes, they did. And I didn't give a fuck. What you gonna do?
This
What is y'all gonna do? Y'all just be mad and go ahead.
this whole argument can be summed up for the same
Just
thing.
so if you don't like to wear it.
If a woman is wearing revealing clothes, should she
Mind
be
your
raped or
fucking
not?
business.
That's not no, you doing too much.
How is that
You're
doing too
doing
much?
too much.
How is that doing too
What
much?
do they got to do with race?
Because you're still misjudging that person
That's
about how
not
they
the
look.
same
That's
thing.
misjudging that person.
That's
That's
The
prejudice.
same thing. I did not say somebody should be assaulted
So seeing a
because they were
woman,
wearing
I'm not
pajamas.
saying that they should be assaulted.
Why
I'm saying
would you
it's the same argument.
No,
I said
it's
it's the same
not.
argument.
You saying
it's
that this
not.
person have on pajamas.
You
They
Listen,
should put on pajamas. That's
I
dirty.
said-
you
I
saying that
said-
somebody who put on pajamas like that don't love themselves.
I
That's the
said,
same.
where
That's the
is
same
your
rhetoric.
self-esteem?
That's the same rhetoric that they say for women who wear
No,
revealing
that's
clothes.
not the
And
same
strippers.
thing.
They
That's
see
not
women.
the
They
same.
see
You
women
reaching.
stripping, and they
You're
say,
reaching.
don't they say that?
I've heard that before.
No.
Yo, lady, you should really
No.
cover up. That's not
You
how
should
women
really
should
cover up.
be.
You're a
Wait.
stripper.
No.
You don't love yourself.
Wait. That you're reaching it.
That's not reaching.
You brought up rape, and that's just no. I'm not accepting it. That's bullshit.
That is
All right.
not reaching.
That's not what I said. And please do not put that on me. That's
Okay,
not
now
what I
I did
said.
not
But
say that you
see,
said it.
Not
Stop
rape.
saying
Let's-
that.
Okay, not rape. Let's take out
I
rape.
said it was the
But-
same
But you
argument.
tell
No,
you
it's
say you
not.
shouldn't wear
It
something.
is
It's
the
the
same
same.
It is
argument.
not the same
It
argument.
is the same
Me,
argument.
you really revealing clothes. Me saying that's inappropriate for women is the same thing as you saying me wear pajamas like inappropriate. It's the
I'm
same thing.
saying that where is the line
It ain't
drawn?
It ain't that.
Where's the line
It
drawn?
ain't none.
So it's
Why
You
you
gotta
wanna
mind
lie
your
about
business.
Why
Mind
is it
your
so
business. Let people live.
Because I gotta deal with the stink ass
Turn
bitch.
your eyes.
I gotta deal with the stink ass bitch. Wait.
You
You
gotta
gotta-
make the face.
Wait.
Right.
I gotta
You
deal
know, I
with
mean,
the
somebody.
stink ass bitch with period blood in her vagina.
We talk about it. Shit, I'll talk about somebody quick
Right.
second.
You know for sure.
Look at her wig. Why she come out?
Y'all
like that?
don't.
What is that?
I'll tell you
Y'all
right now.
doing too
I'm
much.
gonna walk out there with that fucking
So
bottom on.
would you let your child do it?
I don't think my child. First of all, that's a bad question. I don't have to do it.
But if you did,
If I had a chance-
and you see your child like that, that's okay.
I mean, personally, coming from me, no, I don't. I don't walk out the house like that.
So
But I know how to mind my business. I know how to mind my business.
You
That's how
ain't
they go.
walking
That's
out
how
my
they
house like that.
go.
You ain't walking out my house like that. You're not walking out my house like that.
No, she was going too far. You gotta admit, because she talking about some going up to people and poking them and telling them
Now,
they're doing wrong.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think that is ridiculous. I'm not touching nobody to say anything about them.
But I
do-
bring home and put home.
I'm sorry, but
You know what?
I got a fucking problem with somebody coming in a place of business with their fucking titties out. And I don't mean cleavage. I mean a see-through mesh shirt with no bra on. That's fucking ridiculous, yo. That's unacceptable.
I used to work at Walmart.
That's unacceptable.
I know all the types of crazy stuff that people be wearing. I saw somebody come to Walmart in a hospital gown with a wig, okay, ass all out.
And these girls wouldn't do
Ain't
none of
nothing to
any of the
Walmart
shit I'm
versus
saying. They
the
wouldn't do none of that shit. They wouldn't do none of that shit, and I doubt that she would let her fucking family do any of that shit coming out her house.
I mean, I would wear a bonnet out the house.
Don't be fooled.
And I might wear some
Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.
I might wear a bonnet out and wear some pajama pants.
Don't be fooled.
I wouldn't wear my slippers out though.
Don't be fooled.
You know, I want to be comfortable. I'm not worried about you.
Don't be fooled.
You better not touch me.
I ain't gonna go on camera and do it. You know, it's something I wouldn't do. But I'll be outside and everything, but don't record me. I look crazy. I'll do that all the time. I look crazy.
You don't want somebody to have to really see you. Then why do it?
I don't care as long as I'm not
But
like
you, as long as there's
I mean, I know I look hit. I accept it. I look
You know what I mean?
my bonnet, I look crazy.
Exactly.
Don't fuck with me today. I ain't together. That's it.
I mean, listen, not what you saying. Shit,
they full of shit.
You know.
Right. I've been outside buying scarves many a day.
Okay, me too. Oh, me too.
I gotta take my rides on and shit because y'all feel uncomfortable.
Listen, I don't tell these people what to do, but I'm tired of seeing it. I really am, because
y'all put a sign in your
this is
y'all place.
You know, we not allowed to do a certain thing. We gotta have a we gotta have approval. So we did put something up to a certain extent when that happened, because I'm just like, yo, her titties really just sitting here looking at me. And I'm looking at them, and I'm just like, how did you think that was
that's
okay?
weird. I mean, she had on like a mesh.
I just said it was mesh.
Yeah, if she got kids with her nipples out, that's a little rude. But
if you don't draw a line, people just go run them up with it.
But that ain't a pajama shirt.
I'ma just say, listen, you can't make anybody do anything, but I am sorry. I personally feel like us Black women, not all of us, some of us, y'all need to do some work. That's me, not them, me. Some of y'all need to do some work. I do feel some type of way when I see certain things. It makes me sad. It makes me sad because we didn't used to carry ourselves that way. I don't have a problem with you. I don't care. I can say what I want to say. I have daughters. And I have a responsibility. You don't have kids. You don't have you will be a daughter. You'll understand more probably when she get older. I personally feel like when you are raising girls and stuff like that, walking around in this world, you do have a responsibility for teaching them certain things about how they present themselves. And it ain't to the world, it's because of your own self-esteem, your own personal self-esteem. So I have my personal feelings on it, my personal morals, and don't nobody have to agree with them. And like I told other people before, fuck you and fuck your feelings. I'm gonna do for me what I feel is right for me and for mine. You know what I mean? I don't care what y'all say. It is a line. Certain shit is nasty. Certain shit is trifling, because I'll be damn and boom boom come in the house with a goddamn girl with pajamas and period stains on it and a mesh top with titties out. She will be the first one. She will be the first one. She will be the first one to go cool punch that bitch in the throat. She will be the first one. She don't even let us get a word in, y'all. That's what I mean by a lie. That's what I mean by it. No lie.
That's the period blood. Okay. Don't wear the dirty ones outside. You know what I'm saying? That's where the line is. Don't wear period blood.
The line come in and mind your own motherfucking business.
If I had a pajama
they sound so politically correct, but I know these hoes are real life. Whatever. They'll be the first one talking shit.
You ain't seen this whole thing about
Look at this bitch.
If she had probably.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? You can do the fuck you want. The period blood is a little cringy. That's you putting into a different type of perspective. Every pair of pajamas will have period blood and shit in them. You know what I'm saying? Like
put your pajamas outside. All right, y'all. I love
people
y'all.
jeans got
we listen. We don't.
You heard she said she love y'all for real.
We don't. I didn't say that. We don't agree. I don't love y'all. If y'all wearing pajamas, no.
They can't be loved. You have pajamas in the body, you should be loved. Like that's ridiculous.
I ain't too.
I'm gonna wear my body prejudice whenever
I'm not two-faced. I'm telling you the truth.
Pajamas, bonnets,
if you wearing see-through tights with no drawers, you wearing pajamas out the house. I'm telling you, yes,
I
God
would say
damn it.
all the time when I'm drunk. I don't. First of all,
Can we see your hands?
I don't know, and I don't give a say. I don't know.
I have
never actually looked at it.
Yeah, okay.
But
It's sensitive as you are about certain things showing.
my arms, yeah, I am. And you see, they out, don't you? Listen.
Anyway, all right, we gotta move on. We don't went over. That's why I saved it for last because I already know we don't agree on it. You know what I mean? I'm glad we entertaining y'all. Let's go on to reels and rants, please and thank you. I will talk about this bitch Kenya Moore. I do not like this girl. So if y'all ever watch Real Housewives of Atlanta,
She's so ugly.
I think actually
She's not ugly.
There's a lot of people.
I think it's her attitude.
I think she is
Yeah.
so ugly.
It's her attitude that kind of changes. Like,
if y'all ever watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, then y'all familiar with Kenya Moore. She's one of the well-known stars of the show. Recently, under pressure, because we in a day and age of Black Lives Matter and everything, we have Real Housewives of New York and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They had additions of Black women, and in the case of Beverly Hills, they had the addition of an Asian woman. Okay, Kenya Moore, the young woman Ebony K. Williams from Real Housewives of New York, and can you put her picture up, Otis, please? Ebony K. Williams. She is a lawyer. She has been on several, well-known channels, and she is very, very educated, okay? So her and one of the white women from Real Housewives of New York got into a back and forth over her saying that just because you speak openly about sex does not mean that you're not educated. She was making a statement that she did speak openly about sex, and she's actually the most educated person at the table, which was not a slight to anyone, okay? It was just a fact. She wasn't saying she was smarter than everyone. She was just saying that as far as paper, degrees, she is the most educated woman. Well, child, them white women lost their goddamn mind, okay? They had a problem with that. She ended up getting put out of the woman's house. And then as far as the Beverly Hills situation, you have Garcelle Bouveau, which we all know from Coming to America. Can you please put up Garcelle? And everybody loves Garcelle. She was on the Jamie Foxx show and all that. Everybody knows she was fancy, if you don't know who Garcelle was. On Beverly Hills, her and the Asian woman on that show, Crystal Minkoff, got into something with one of the white women, and she wanted to argue that she doesn't see color. And Kyle Richards, who is Paris Hilton's aunt, had called Garcelle out for not paying a $5,000 donation that she agreed to pay, which ended up being just a mistake with her business manager. But she waited until the Real Housewives reunion to shame her with it, and she made the argument like, hey, would you have done that to a white woman? And you have to understand the connotation that there has for a Black person, a Black woman, they always had a stereotype that we don't pay for things and shit like that or whatever. Well, Kenya Moore decides to go on Instagram and Twitter and openly cape for these white women. And I just don't understand why. You're not even on this show. You're not on Beverly Hills. You're not on New York. So why do you have to go on these social media sites and cape for these white women? And in regards to the case of Ebony, she said, oh, well, just because you're educated doesn't mean you're intelligent. Why are you taking jabs at this woman? You don't know how intelligent she is or not. You don't know her. She's more intelligent than you. You know for being a beauty queen from the 80s, 90s?
I was just about to say that Kenya Moore, out of all the people, it should have been closed mouths about it more than anybody, because wasn't she the first what was it, Miss America or what?
One of them, I don't even remember.
Get it right, because
you know she get offended.
She get offended. Better get it the fuck right. But so you know how important it is, for Black women coming up and in a tense situation, like, you know, in predominantly white, you know, spaces and stuff like that, you know, out of all people. And so for a new Black woman to, you know, be on a show that's predominantly white, and to hear and say, and then you can't, exactly, you know what it is to be in white spaces, to invade white spaces. You know what it is to take, you know, their accolades and the things that they are privileged to, you know, things that they are given to. You know what it is to take that from them. So why would you then
open your damn mouth?
Yeah, be condescending to another Black woman who's in the same position that you was once in. I would think that you would want to uplift her and be like, yeah, you know what I mean?
So it doesn't even, like, she just ain't shit. Like, you pick that person to act like that too. Like, that's ridiculous.
Like, give us some advice, at least, because you would know how to be in those spaces and give advice on how to be on a show, a reality show, a Real Housewives.
You could have just messaged her. You could have talked to her, like the way
she doesn't care.
She don't. I don't like her. That's probably why I feel like she's so ugly. Like,
a lot of people know she is ugly on the inside.
A lot of people
make you look ugly.
A lot of people say that she attractive. I don't see it because I just feel like she's so ugly.
I know.
Her personality is so terrible.
It changes how people look when you know their personality is so trash.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I just think it's sad, especially as Ebony's first season, and you know that she's getting attacked left and right on social media by racists already, and then you want to add on to it, and you know what? Out of everything, she's going to zone out the white people because you expect it. But she's going to see your comment, and that's going to bother her more than anybody else saying anything. Because why are you that fucking thirsty?
She is.
You're so
she
thirsty.
is. She's been thirsty since forever. Like, even in little clips, I don't even watch the fucking show. Okay, but I've seen so many clips of her just flirting with people's husbands. She gotta be in front of the camera. She gotta be in people's face. Like, girl,
she gotta be center stage, center attention all the time.
You are in your 50s, woman. Okay, when you want to grow up and let that shit go? Like, you need to focus on your daughter. You know what I mean? This is a horrible example for your child, and focus on that man that don't want you. You know, I'm not even gonna spend a whole long time on Kenya because she don't deserve it. But that just disgusted me. Like, that irritated me. I've been trying not to read the comments and stuff, and I've been trying to support the show so that they will keep bringing Black women on into the fold. You know what I mean?
Is she on the real now?
Yeah, she is. She is.
At least go get in touch with the girl to get her side of the story to see what it is.
She's not gonna do that because she doesn't care.
She just wanted to say something to.
She's jealous. That's all. She's trying to be friends. They doing this new Housewives show where they take them from different franchises and put them all in one house.
She want to be on there.
I stopped watching.
But Nene living it up with the Olivia Lounge. She's doing really, really well. So I'm happy for Nene. You know, now she can maybe get back to being her authentic self instead of that stuff she was doing for the cameras and stuff. I always like Nene. So if y'all in Atlanta, y'all got to check out the Olivia. So let's close out the show talking about Pose. I mentioned earlier that I was going to talk about Pose. Pose had their series finale. I don't know if y'all watch Pose or not, but it was extremely important for the trans community, for the LGBTQIA community.
Y'all got so many damn letters.
For the
everybody.
For the ballroom community that everyone steals from. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if y'all ever saw the documentary Paris is Burning, but it details where Vogue really came from, where Madonna stole all that shit from, you know what I mean? Watered down, gentrified Voguing. It talks about how being in the ballroom was a real community for trans women, and then the fights that they faced with colorism. And that's crazy because it's always another layer. Like, you discriminated against because you're gay. Then the gay people look down on the trans women. The trans women look down on those that are dark skinned, and then those that can pass versus those can't pass, which is T.S. Madison always say, they call her middle name is Daylight because she can walk in the daylight and they don't know that she's a trans woman. You know what I mean? It comes down. It's always
everybody feel comfortable hating somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Somebody gotta be beneath you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's sad. That's very sad.
And then it really talked about when HIV hit in the 80s and in the 90s. And I have cried. Yes, that's right. You're right. I did so much crying and happiness and joy. Like I experienced so much stuff. Ryan Murphy has done a whole lot for the gay community, for the trans community. He's put out other shows that are really, really good. Like Hollywood on Netflix, that was really, really good. But Pose was just so innovative because the actors that were on there, they were actually trans. He had the largest group of working trans people ever in history. So everyone that you saw, can you put up the picture of Dominique Jackson, Electra Abundance? I love Dominique Jackson. Otis, are you still awake? Otis, did you fall asleep? Otis is like, oh, there you go. That bitch.
She be on a lot of stuff too.
Okay, beautiful. And it was telling her story about how she was a trans woman pre-op. And she had a straight man that was wealthy, that she was the kept woman, and he only wanted to be with her pre-op. He didn't want her to get the surgery. He did not want her to get the surgery.
But that's not who she was.
That's not who she was. So
a lot of people like that too.
Yeah, no, I've had discussion with people in real life that happened to them. Once she got the surgery, he cut her off. But that wasn't who she was. She wanted to be a woman. Then there's they had Blanca, I forget her real name, but Blanca was on there and they was always talking about how she couldn't really pass, as being a woman, and they like people would know who she was. Like but I mean, sometimes when you first transition, you look a little hit. You look a little hit. You know what I mean? You look a little Caitlyn generation. You know what I mean? They had a phenomenal cast, and it just shed so much light. You had some people had been molested, some people were from a religious background. They all had to do sex work at the beginning because for a lot of trans women, they can't get a regular job, so they have to go ahead and work on the piers and stuff like that. And like that's what I was saying earlier. Like, who you think is going to them piers picking them up?
Like I said before, about my coworkers talking, trans women get a job, first thing want to be like, man. Like,
right, regular society don't want to accept them for what they are or who they are. So it's like people want to go and hide and find them and stuff like that. It's sad. It is sad that that's something that they have to do is like sell their body and stuff like that just to live normally. Like that's really awful. It's very sad.
And it's getting judged and everything.
Or like fetishized, stuff like that. So that's very sad.
And they spoke about how the houses were created and the ballrooms were created to be a family for those who had been misplaced and had been thrown out and forgotten about, and how important. That's why they had a mother and a father in the house and everything, and how important it was for it. They talk about drug addiction and being in bad relationships, because you might get with that guy that he like to be with you when the doors is closed, but if somebody see you on daylight, he's gonna whoop your ass. You a faggot and this, that, and the other thing. You know what I mean? They had one of the popular characters got killed by one of her tricks. You know what I mean? They had that. They had Electra killing. One of her tricks died. I'm sorry, he died, and she had to hide his body, and that was based off of
a real story. I heard that story.
You know that story where they didn't find him until when she died. They found this man in the trunk.
Somebody moved in and found it. It was a body. That was actually really popular. I watched a lot of true crime.
Yeah.
Me too. I be scared of shit in their house.
I love it.
I mean, a lot of it was based on real life things, especially the HIV things and how people were dying left and right.
Spoiler. Oh yeah, spoiler. My bad.
Spoiler.
alert.
The series is over. Series is over. If you ain't watch it, it didn't just go off. If you didn't watch it, then sucks for you. But if you've never watched it, I recommend that you go. I recommend that you go back and watch it. It was so sad and depressing how people who had HIV in the beginning, their families just threw them away. Wow. And they had this in New York, they had this field where all these, I think it was 869 people were buried that had died from HIV, and the families didn't claim them. Wow. 869 people. Wow. In nameless, faceless graves. It was just so sad. People were like, I've read The Mother of Black Hollywood, but you know the woman that was on Blackish, the mom. Jennifer Lewis. And she was talking about, because she was in the theater and stuff, and how she lost so many gay friends during that HIV when it initially hit in the 80s, how they died left and right. So it chronicles the act up and when they finally did get the life-saving medication, but they didn't want to give it to the Black people, they only wanted to give it to the white people and things like that. So it is very educational. Because it is part of history, and just because it's a part of gay history doesn't mean it's not a part of American history. You know what I mean? It really
and Black history of Black people in those spaces, how they were treated and what they went through. So it is. I agree. It's a good thing to watch. I don't know. I'm a procrastinator, so it would take me a minute to watch stuff. I don't know why. It's
so many things.
Maybe I just don't. I don't want to be sad, or I don't want to see that.
I mean, you are gonna be sad on parts of it, but for other parts, you are gonna laugh and you're gonna enjoy it. It's just all these things come together to create a whole. So Black history, gay history instead of spelling out all the letters, all of that create a whole. And within being Black, there are the section of gay people that are still struggling. Within being gay, there are the trans.
Netflix, right?
Yeah,
it's on Netflix.
It's on. It's the trans people. They are still killed at an alarming rate. Trans women are killed at an alarming rate, especially Black trans women, and their crimes go unsolved. And so that in 2021, that is still an issue. That pose is set in the 80s. And we're still having the same problems and the same fights for them. Stop killing people. If you don't agree with their lifestyle, leave people the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Don't kill somebody over the fact that you don't like the way they live their life. Billy Porter. Can you please put up the picture of Billy Porter, and I'm gonna wrap this up.
I love him.
Yes,
I do love him.
So Billy Porter on the show played a man that had HIV, and he actually came out that he does actually have HIV, and he's been living with it for 14 years. So can you imagine when you're watching him, and these emotions that he is having, they are authentic and they're legitimate, and I don't know, it just makes me like tear up a little bit, because I'm just like, he had to play out his own death on the show. And imagine, that he has to think about that every day as well, even though now HIV is not a life sentence. I'm sorry, a death sentence. HIV is not a death sentence anymore, but you just never know. You just never know. And then you think about how blessed you are to be a survivor, and you hear survivor's guilt, because so many people didn't get that. They didn't get that opportunity. So, yeah, y'all check it out. It's Pride Month. Check it out. Educate yourself. No matter what, we all have gay people in our family, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. And some of y'all gay yourselves, and y'all not acknowledging it. So, do your homework, learn something, educate yourself, broaden your horizons. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us. Next episode, Tokyo's going to wrap up and end her BDSM series, and gag us some more with some diaper baby booty stuff.
I'll go in depth with that next time. I think. Well, I don't know. Sadomasochisms are next one, so We'll see. We'll see. But I might make a whole episode about that so we can talk about the shitty lifestyle that Denver lovers live.
And if there's anything that y'all want us to discuss, please put it in the comments.
Yes.
We will pay attention to it because we ain't got a whole bunch to go through. So, as usual, thank you for joining us for education, a laugh, and a heavy pour. Have a good night. About to get drunk, y'all.